move to Alaska. So, growing up in Alaska, I always thought that I wanted to leave. To live anywhere else in the world. Everything must be better somewhere else is like what I always thought. Like the grass is greener on the other side. But after moving away from Alaska, I realized that Alaska may be greener after all. Alright, so I went around and I asked people like what were their reasons why they wouldn't want to move to Alaska, and a lot of people were like, no one lives there. But oftentimes this is a misconception that no one lives in Alaska. People think it's just like Eskimos, Sarah Palin, and people who like wanted to live off the grid. But Alaska's population is actually 700,000 and growing. You might not know this, but Alaska is actually home to the most diverse neighborhood in America, according to CNN. This is what caused 3 of the most diverse high schools to be formed there. I actually went to one of them. And so we have Samoan people, Dominican people, black people, white people, Asian, anything. Anything is pretty much there. So anyone can live there. Alright, so a lot of people also were like, oh, well, if I move to Alaska, how am I going to get my education? So how you get your education is there's actually 2 large universities, and they actually have like Division II basketball, track, and volleyball, and Division I hockey. So like this is actually a picture of, that's Miami playing Alaska, that's UAA, and that's at the Alaska Shootout. And both UAA and UAF are great schools, and they both have undergraduate and graduate programs, so you can actually get a master's in Alaska. Like a lot of people don't know that. So another complaint people had is that it's too cold. So Alaska is famous for being cold, but Alaskans are adapters. All the houses in Alaska, they have heaters, so it's not super, super cold. It's just like having AC in Florida. So here in Florida, I've heard this saying a lot. It's called dress for success, and it works the same in Alaska. So basically, if it's cold outside, you're gonna wear like a jacket or something, so you're not freezing. So like here, it's the same as like wearing a bikini. One thing also is it snows, but that doesn't have to keep you from playing sports like that are inside or that are outside. So like, see this? This is like a giant football field at a track. It's just inside of a dome, so you don't have to like it's. So when it snows, you can still have football games, have track like events and all that. We also have like indoor driving ranges. So there's a dome and there's a driving range there. And then also another thing to note is Alaska is 4 seasons, so it's not cold all the time. Like there's a summer, and so it's like just about like any other state. I mean, Florida there's no snow, but it's about the same as any other state. Okay, so then whenever I started traveling out of Alaska, I had the rude awakening of sales tax. I didn't know that was even a thing until I went to Seattle, and I was like, whoa, I have extra money put onto this. So in Florida, whenever you spend $1, it's another 7 cents on every dollar that you spend. So if you live in Alaska, you don't have to worry about that 7% on everything that you buy. And then, so a lot of people think that in Alaska, like, there's the only jobs there are like oil and fishing, but actually, there's a lot of stuff. So like that's the hospital. We have like a whole bunch of healthcare providers because there's people there. This is actually my middle school that I went to, so there's a lot of like education that goes there. And then there is oil, and then like the zoo. So there's a lot of tourists that actually go to Alaska. So it's not just oil and fishing. So then another thing that people were talking to me about is that if they're in the military. So
that base is awesome.
You maybe think, like, a lot of people don't know this, but there's actually 5 military bases in Alaska, and they actually have a lot of programs that help people move to Alaska. Like, so it's not just the military, it's like, these things are like accessible to everyone, so like they have a lot of things like the Alaska Housing Resources, Craigslist rentals, even information about certain parts of town, and it's on their website. This is just a snapshot of all the services that are provided. And then the next complaint that people have is, I want to go to the beach. And so if you want to become an Alaska resident, every year the government pays you to be there, to live there. So basically, like every year you get a dividend check. So I just received, like in November, $2,072 for this year. And that's more than enough to get you to the beach. So you can go on vacation with this permanent fund that they give you. According to the PFD Bureau, over $23 billion have been given back to residents since 1982. If you saved all your PFD checks since the first one, it would add up to $39,099. That's just for living there. Like, you don't even have to do anything. That's just money that they give you. And then, so for my parents, they've both lived there since it started. So for them, they've gotten actually $78,000 just for living there. And then I got really lucky, and they saved mine, and they put it in mutual funds. And for just living there, I have $36,000 just in the bank. And then, so another thing is weed is legal there. So like that comes up a lot in this class. And it was the third state to actually have weed become legalized. And so when you turn 21, it's just like buying alcohol. You can go to the store and go buy weed. All right. So in conclusion, so what did we learn here today? So first, Alaska people actually has diverse people, and anyone can live there. Second, there are universities and college sports. Third, it is cold. If we dress for success, we can stay warm. The military has created resources that make it easy for you to move there, and they're available to the public. The government pays you to live there, and weed is legal. If I didn't convince you, I think I convinced myself to move back. So, does anybody have any questions?